Hello ladies and gentlemen, Pork Chopper here, back again with a new video in this series looking at some of the best cards for certain roles or to counter certain heroes. I've already done the best cards for the mid lane, off lane, jungle and carry role. The playlist for all these videos is in the description below, and this will be the final one talking about the best cards for support, but I plan on doing plenty of ones to talk about the best cards and strategies to counter counters, Kalari, split pushing, you name it. If you have any other options, do let me know. Do subscribe to the channel, plenty of Paragon content on this channel. But anyway, we're going to jump into all the cards. Just as a disclaimer, this isn't going to be every single card that is useful for support. It's just if you're going to be building a support deck, more than likely there's going to be a lot of cards here that can really help you early game, mid game and late game. Saying that, the cards will be in order of the general power of them. So we're going to be talking about the early game cards first, then the mid game and then the late game. But let's get right into it. The first card we have here is in the growth affinity called Highwayman and has 1000 Paragon gold. It has the passive Gold Mine. Whenever you deal damage to a hero, gain 75 gold and has a 15-second cooldown. When it means a 15-second cooldown, that means once you deal damage to a hero, you can't gain that extra gold from dealing the damage to that hero again for 15 seconds. So that means you just can't spam it over again and get a lot more gold than you should do. As a support, this is going to be great if you're going to be the kind of support that's going to be harassing the off laner a lot. As a support, you won't be getting as much gold as the carry because carries are going to take all the last hits as they should, and that means you're going to be lacking some gold. So this card can really help to think, I'm going to need some extra gold, and this card be quite beneficial there. Another very early game card is in the knowledge affinity called Font of Experience and costs 1000 gold. With the passive experience, gain full experience every 10 seconds. I've already done an in-depth on this card about a week or so ago, so you can check it out there. This is a really good card for pretty much any support. You're going to be lacking in hero level experience. Most supports have really good ultimates at level 5, like Deca, Muriel, Narbas, just to name a few. So to be able to keep up hero experience wise can be really good. And now the next card is a consumable in the order affinity called Lamplighter, costing 300 gold, with the consumable being a shadow ward. You basically place a shadow ward to reveal nearby enemies, and you have 2 charges for this consumable, so it's pretty much worth the 300 gold. As a support, it's your job to keep you and most importantly the carry safe. And if early game you're thinking that they're definitely going to be putting a lot more pressure on you, for example a Kalari jungle or in the offlane could be a big problem for you. So being able to purchase Lamplighter for 300 gold with 2 charges, this means you can secure both routes into the safe lane to make sure you know if you're going to be getting ganked or not. But you don't want to always be spending 300 gold on wards, and that's why there's Protective Sentry, also in the order affinity, costing 2 vitality and 2 intellect with an armoured shadowed ward. It works exactly the same as Lamplighter. You place a shadow ward down to reveal nearby enemies. However, this time it grants 12 basic armour to nearby allies in the shadow ward's range. It costs 50 mana and has a 65-second cooldown before you can place another one down. And then the next card is in the death affinity called Taskmaster, costing 1000 gold and has the effect sacrifice an allied minion and regenerate health equal to 10% of its current health. It has a 100-second cooldown and 50 mana cost. Now you're probably wondering, why on earth as a support would I want this card? The main reason you would want this card is to push the wave in your favour, meaning you can safely farm near your tower. The way you would do this is if you have good communication with your carry and you know you want to slowly split push the wave. That means you can deny the offlane farm, which could be very essential if that offlane really benefits from being level 5 or something like a Greystone or a Wukong. The next card is in the knowledge affinity called Supply Sergeant and costs 3 intellect with the active mana shout. Restore 125 mana to nearby allies and has an 85-second cooldown. This also affects you as well, so if you're low on mana you can pop this card to give you extra mana too. So it's just a really good card to have if you have a lot of casters on your team, or really any hero that's going to consume a lot of mana rather quickly. It's just a really nice card to have there, and I would definitely recommend it. Again, only if you're with more of a caster heavy composition. The next card is a Malins Great in the order affinity, costing 3 vitality and 2 intellect with the active rallying shout. heal nearby allies for 275 health. Healed allies gain 24 basic armor for 20 seconds, very similar to what Quenching Scales was in version 41. It costs 75 mana and has an 80-second cooldown. This can be monumental in big team fights. Again, as support, this is going to be a mid to late game card, but something you do want to keep. It's going to be really good for you and your team to stay alive in those team fights, so definitely an essential card there. Talking about Malins, we also have Malins Great, costing 5 Vitality, 2 Intellect, and is in the Order Affinity with the effect Shield Link. Shield yourself and a target ally for 15% of your max health for 3 seconds. It costs 100 mana and a 45-second cooldown. Now this is more for support if you're going quite a tanky support like a Richter or Narbas. This means you're going to be having a lot more health, and that means this card is going to be even more beneficial because it shields you and a target ally for 15% of your max health. So if you have 1000 max health, that's going to be 150 shield for 3 seconds. This is a very simple card, mostly if you're going to help your carry out, or you want to focus it on them, or anyone who's weak and wants to escape away. Just a really nice card to have. Again, depends on your max health, so definitely more of a mid to late game card once you have a lot more health. Then we have Radiant Healer, costing 3 Intellect and is in the Order Affinity with the passive Healing Aura. You and nearby allies gain 5 health regen. Very simple card, really essential as support. Stick near your allies, they get extra health regen. What's there not to love about that? The next card after that is in the Growth Affinity called Spry Kin, costing 2 Vitality, 5 Intellect, and has the effect Restoration Link. You and a target ally gain 60% of your missing mana and health over 10 seconds. It has a 75 mana cost and 120 second cooldown. So this isn't just gaining your health but also your mana back. That means it's not just focusing more on your carry but also casters. Pretty much at any given time a teammate needs help, you can quickly link them to this card. In team fights can be essential too. Again, just a very simple support card, something you can really use well. Then we definitely have one of the ones which many people won't be using as much, but I think is a big favourite for me, costing 1 Intellect in the Growth Affinity called Chance and Shaman with the passive Shared Wisdom. Gain 50% mana regen for each nearby ally. Giving you an extra 50% mana regen is going to be awesome to have. It means you're always going to be more filled up on mana, so it means you can poke the enemy offlaner a lot. You're always going to be staying near your carry, and even mid to late game, if you're staying near 1 to 2 allies, it can really help with your mana regen. And that, ladies and gentlemen, does it for today's video. Again, this isn't all the cards for the support, but some of the more essential ones which I think really help you and your team out. So definitely do check all those cards out. I would definitely recommend them for pretty much any kind of support build. Except for that, as I said, I have plenty of Paragon videos on this channel, so please do check them out. I will be coming version 42 and everything up to the launch and beyond of Paragon. So like, share and subscribe, and I will see you all next time.